Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to my studio. This is Paint with Lovejoy. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're here for the first time, thank you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and check out my other videos. If you're here for a second or third or fourth painting, thank you so much for coming back, and I look forward to seeing what you guys paint. So today's video is perfect for my first time painters. These are great videos to just kind of get you comfortable with the brush, comfortable with mixing your paint. And the way these are set up, you're going to do kind of a crazy abstract background. You are welcome to switch out colors if you want. And then we'll use black paint and put a silhouette design on there. And that kind of solidifies your composition. So again, this is excellent practice just to get comfortable with the process of painting, and perfect for my first time and beginner painters. If you want to do a different silhouette design, just Google the subject matter and silhouette of what do you want to do, and feel free to switch it up and make the painting your own. Use this as just kind of a guideline, a step-by-step of what to do. With that being said, in the description box below, you're going to see a link to a supply kit. And in that supply kit is everything that you need to grab, materials, paints, brushes, canvas for this particular painting. So check out the supply kit, grab the materials that you need, and then pick up the video again. With practice, you get better and more comfortable. So keep on finding ways to have a creative outlet on a monthly basis. Your future self will be very grateful that you did. So I think it's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get started painting. Alright guys, this is going to be another fun painting, so grab all your supplies, turn on your favorite music, and as always, make sure you take your progress photos. So for today's background, this is perfect for first-time painters, and you are welcome to switch out any colors for your favorite color or something different in place of what I do on the video. So we're actually going to start with a light yellow, and we're going to put our horizon line in. And I want you to go about 4 to 5 inches from the bottom and go up and place a little mark. And then if you need to, you can kind of place that same mark in a similar position on the other side. Do it again in the middle, and then we're going to draw a line straight across. Now your line doesn't have to be perfect, and we are going to be painting over this. So it's actually just kind of, this is our horizon line. And we're going to work on putting a design above it and also a similar design below it. So that way we have our reflecting colors above and below. So still using that kind of light lemony yellow color. We're going to create kind of an abstract design above the horizon line, and then we're going to kind of mimic that shape, that abstract shape below the horizon line. And here you can just see that it's kind of, again, a weird abstract shape. You can make it anything that you want. And for my first time painters, I do want you to apply your paint a little bit thicker. You'll have a little bit more workability and some time to blend a little bit more if you apply your paint a little bit thicker compared to being very sparing with your paint. Again, you're taking what you did above the horizon line, mimicking that below the horizon line. And now we're grabbing yellow paint and kind of hanging out on the perimeter of our lighter yellow color that we just applied. And again, whatever you do above your horizon line, just go below the horizon line and do the same thing. Again, for our background, you are an abstract painter, and kind of anything goes until we put our silhouette of our tree on here. And pause your video, take your progress photo. Now we're going to add a little bit of orange to that mixture. So we're going light yellow plus orange. And again, going around the perimeter of the yellow we just applied. We're starting with our light colors and working darker. If you have to make your color a second or third time, don't stress about it being the exact same shade. Having variety is to your benefit in the painting process. Again, we applied it above the horizon line. Now we're going below the horizon line to mimic it. And again, it does not have to be perfect. Remember to breathe. If you're holding your breath right now, take a deep inhale, smile at yourself. This is just painting. It is not the end of the world. And I encourage all my students to find a creative outlet on a regular basis. It is only to your benefit to paint more and find stress-free options for yourself. So here you can see I added a little bit more orange. And if it doesn't quite fully show up on the bottom, because we didn't make the bottom as wide as the top, that's okay. So pause the video, take your progress photo. You're going to clean your brush really good, and we're going to go to a light blue or a light pink color. So it's going to be white with a touch of red. You can make your shade of pink whatever shade you desire. If you want to go a little bit darker than what I have on the video, I would actually recommend that. And again, we're slightly overlapping where our yellow and our kind of sherbety orange color is above and below our horizon line. And you do want to do this while your paint is still wet. That's going to give you the workability and wet on wet blending. Remember to breathe. You're doing a great job. I'm so proud of you for painting at home. And there is something super therapeutic about just moving paint on the canvas. All right, another spot to pause the video and take your progress photo. Now we're going to move into a light blue. So clean your brush really good, and then you're going to start with white again. Add a tiny amount of blue till you get to the shade of light blue that you like. And again, we're just going to be applying it to the perimeter of where we were just painting. So we're having kind of the warm sunset colors on the left-hand side, moving into cool blues on the right-hand side. Again, if you want more of one color compared to what I put in the canvas, feel free to switch it up and add what you want for your background. You're doing great. You notice that I did go over the horizon line. You may, if your horizon line was still wet, may make a bit of a green, but don't freak out about that because we are going to be putting our black silhouette on top of this. So now adding a touch more blue, going for a slightly darker blue than what you were just using. It may not be the same shade of blue I'm using, but I want you to go a little bit darker, 1 or 2 shades darker than you were just using. And again, we're going to be filling in the remaining space of the canvas. And if there's anything that you want to do to your background, you want to do it now while the background is wet, then we'll let it dry before we move on to put a silhouette of our black outlines on there. So again, if you need to go back to your oranges, your reds, your blues, if you want to throw purple in there, if you want to throw in different colors, go right ahead and do that while your background is wet. Pause the video, take your progress photo. And again, you want your background to fully dry before we move on to painting the black on top of it. And with the black, we're going to go back and put in our horizon line again. And if you can still kind of see where it's at, just go right on top of it. Or if you need to repeat what we did at the beginning with your little marks on the edges and in the center, go ahead and do that as well. But you're going to kind of get those marks on there and get your horizon line going straight across the canvas. We are going to add a little bit above this line. So again, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We're just given the illusion that we have a separation from our sky and our ground, which is going to be the water reflection. Remember to breathe. You're doing great. So above this, we're just going to kind of put a little hint that we have some kind of change in the landscape on the edges. And it doesn't have to be anything specific. If you want mountains in yours, if you want something specific shape on yours, go ahead and do that. And again, whatever you do above your horizon line, just do a little bit to mimic that below the horizon line since this is a reflection painting. All right, take a progress photo of your interesting looking composition right now. And we're going to move into the tree. And we're going to start with the tree trunk. Again, gets a little bit wider at the base as it meets the horizon line. And then I want you to repeat that below the horizon line again. And it doesn't, again, have to be perfect. Breathe, be kind to yourself. You're doing a great job. You're stepping outside your comfort zone and painting at home. I'm really proud of you. Then we're going to put our branches on. And again, they just kind of shoot out from the top of the tree trunk. They can be long, they can be short. Again, we're going to kind of do the top, and then I want you to repeat the process below your horizon line to the reflected part of the tree. And here we are mimicking that shape below the horizon line. Does not have to be perfect. It is amazing what our brain fills in for details. As long as it's kind of close, your brain will fill in the rest. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo, and moving on to skinnier branches. So again, you could move into the small pointy brush using light pressure and maybe a touch of water on your brush. Again, you never want your brush dripping wet with water, but a little bit of water is going to help with the fluidity of your paint. And as we get into these steps, I do recommend maybe doing 2 or 3 branches or brush strokes above the horizon line and then going down below your horizon line to add more and then back up to the top. That way your brain doesn't get crazy overwhelmed by doing the full tree above your horizon line and then going down to your reflection and going, how do I do this again? So a few brush strokes above the horizon line and then a few brush strokes below the horizon line. It's kind of a good back and forth method. Remember to breathe. You're doing great. It's coming along nicely. And as you get into the process of painting, I'm going to encourage that you get out of your chair every now and then and look at your painting from a distance of 3 to 10 feet away. And our paintings and things in life look entirely different from that distance compared to 2 feet in front of you while you're painting your painting. So again, remember to kind of get into that groove of looking at your painting from a distance. Generally, things in life look better from that distance. All right, so pause the video, take your progress photo. We're going to move up to that middle flat brush again and add the foliage on our tree. And you're going to kind of hold the brush perpendicular to the canvas, and we're just doing this tapping method, kind of like pointillism. And just using a tapping method to add the foliage on our tree. And you can add as much or as little foliage as you like. Again, I recommend doing a little bit above the horizon line and then going back below to the bottom. But if you kind of get in a groove like I'm doing right now and do all your foliage on top, it's a little bit easier to do it at the bottom at this step compared to the branches. Again, using your paint kind of thick and just this tapping method to create foliage on our tree. And then repeat that at the bottom, below on your reflection of your tree. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, just a general hint of what it looks like above the horizon line. Our brain fills in the rest of the details. All right, pause the video, take your progress photo, and you do want this part to dry fully before we move into doing our water reflection lines. So back with that small pointy brush, we're making a super light blue. And below the horizon line, we're going to kind of put these little wave lines, these little horizontal lines with blue and light blue. And this is again kind of the ripples of water kind of reflecting as we see it move across the water with our image underneath. And this is definitely the point after you do some of this to prop your painting up and look at it from about 10 feet away. These points will actually make a little bit more sense from that distance, and our eye is going to interpret it as ripples on the water. And like I said earlier, we're going to be doing this with that light blue. We're going to use straight blue and then possibly even a little bit of white. You do want these overlapping part of the black spaces on our reflection. Again, giving the hint that this is reflecting on the surface of water. Same thing as I move into a darker blue. And it's kind of cool that where you'll notice that it looks one way, the same color, The blue looks different on top of the light blue compared to on top of the yellow. And this is one of the few times that more is better. So you do want some of these colors to overlap each other, duplicate, go off the edge of the canvas, go right up next to your horizon line. Again, by looking at it from the distance, you can assess what you need to adjust or change to your liking. So great job today. I'm so proud of you guys for painting at home and painting with me. I look forward to painting with you in the future. Cheers. Hey guys, I hope your paintings turned out really nice, and I hope you feel a little more relaxed now at the end of painting compared to when you started. I'm really proud of you for painting at home, so good job. Don't wait too long to do another painting and just kind of hone in the skills that you learned today. It will be more comfortable the next time that you go to paint. As you're uploading your pictures to social media, please tag me in those photos, Paint with Lovejoy, or email them to me, paintwithlovejoy@gmail.com. I'm a fully solo production here, so seeing your feedback, hearing your comments, really kind of gives me motivation to keep making these videos, and it is growing really nicely. When you are ready, I do have something that you can kind of level up to. So I want you to check out my main website, paintwithlovejoy.com, and I feature my Paint Your Pet class, and it is geared towards first-time and beginner painters. So check that out when you're ready to kind of take the next level of painting at home. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, things that you would like me to paint in the future, please leave a comment below. I do my best to respond to all of those pretty quickly. And like I said earlier, your feedback is definitely keeping me going and keeping me make more videos. So it is your support that's making this happen. So yeah, thanks again for taking time out of your day to paint with me. I'm honored, truly grateful that you're finding a lot of help in these videos and enjoying the process of painting. So until next time, cheers.